G'day friends, welcome to today's YouTube video. My name's James. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. I'm going to be a little relaxed today, a little laid back. I have a touch of a scratchy throat, so if I take a few breaks to cough, I'll obviously try not to do that into the mic. But we're going to be here for close to half an hour, so get yourself set up if you've got a journal you want to work in as we go through this, or you want to grab a little beverage to keep you company. I'm just going to be chatting about a lot of things that are going on and just playing in my journals. I have a few different little journal play sessions that I've kind of all smashed into this one video. So the first thing we're going to get to is the Virtual Voyage number 2 journal, the Burtonville ones. I have this insert that's still kind of a little empty, so I decided to work towards finishing that. My Virtual Voyage 1 journal is now completely finished. At the end of this video, I work on the last insert that I had, which was the Over the Rainbow insert, so it's a Wizard of Oz theme. So you'll see me finish that in this video as well. And then I also have right in the middle of this video, I have my, what's it called? Hobonichi. My Hobonichi A6, it's my planner, but it's from 2020, because this footage was actually filmed at the end of 2020. And I've decided to put it all together rather than splice it up into 3 different videos. I thought, you know what, let's just pack it in so I can have a lot of time to chat to you and just enjoy myself and go slow today. So I'll pop between obviously talking about whatever I want to talk about and then trying to mention what's going on the screen if I manage to pick up any of that throughout this video. You know, I get very sidetracked, but for the most part, I am just playing very intuitively and just filling in lots of gaps and spaces with whatever's going on. You'll see a lot of my Hobonichi stuff is actually geared towards Christmas, and there's a lot of photos that go on in there, and a lot of kind of documenting and memory keeping, but there's nothing. I think all through this, it's pretty visual. There's lots of just photos and drawings and paintings. So no real writing, maybe a couple of bits here and there. But I tend not to put that in the videos too much because it's not the most exciting thing to watch. So I usually leave that for my own personal time afterwards. Or I go on Instagram Live and we finish up pages like this. This is just a very playful process. So I hope you enjoy watching it as we go through. I want to start off with a few announcements, a few little JLB Creative plugs and announcements. My first one is we have workshops. I know I mentioned this before, but if you click the link in the description of this video, you can go to my website, and in the journal section, which is technically the blog, there is an entry, there's a post there that lists all of the dates for the JLB Creative workshops that I have planned for this year. They're all online, and some of them are live workshops. In fact, I think most of them I have put down there are live workshops. I don't really have any plans this year to do any pre-recorded. I should take that back. Parts of Virtual Voyage are obviously pre-recorded, but no standalone full workshops such as Whimsical Illustration and Memory to Memento, the travel journaling workshop. Those were all pre-filmed and they're all self-study at your own pace. There's no live component to those. But for this year, I've focused a lot more on keeping those workshops with live components available, since we're still in flux with what we can achieve, as far as meeting together for events in real life, and so we thought it'd be better to at least tentatively plan with a lot of those workshops in mind. And the first few are already scheduled, so we do have on the 23rd of January we have the concept stamping workshop. Now that used to be a live workshop in person, which I've since put online. Obviously that we could reach more people when we couldn't see each other in person, but you do need to have the concept stamp set, and that one's the 6x8, the original. So there's more information about that you can also check out in the description if you go to my Teachable. All of my courses are there. It tells you exactly how much, what you kind of need, what it's about, and if you go on my Instagram, you'll see a lot of promo materials kind of showing what you can expect out of those courses. So concept stamping is on the 23rd. That's just a single day, like a single workshop, goes for 2 hours. It's all live, and then you get the replay after that just in case you want to revisit some of that information. And yeah, that's all fun. It's all about stamping and illustration, which is something I do quite a lot, and with my concept stamp set, it's kind of the reason that I even created them in the first place. It was more of a tool rather than a finished product to kind of help with that illustration process, not only building kind of the base and the structure of illustrations and not having to worry about learning too much of that technique, but also with ideas, like concept, literally the ideas for designs, because I found myself a lot of the time more creative when I wasn't actually thinking about the process too much, which is kind of hard when you're illustrating because you do have to think about what you're about to draw next. But with stamping, I could kind of collage it all together and they were all just individual shapes. And I eventually found that process a lot more liberating from my imagination. It felt a lot more like playing and like Lego, and it was, I always say it's not like I can guarantee you're going to get something cute or fun or amazing out of it. You'll definitely get something, interesting. And interesting is kind of those places that I think is a good place to explore, because there's a lot going on in our subconscious, and there's a lot of ways that we are different in how we approach learning things. And I obviously everyone's different, but for me, I just always found it really, really difficult to come up with ideas. Like if you just said to me, draw something interesting, I really struggled to do that. I would have to draw something I already seen before, or that I was already familiar with drawing, like fairies or mermaids. And even then I found it hard to kind of make them different. I just kept redrawing the same thing. So over time, I've actually felt like this concept stamping, stamping and illustration, like all these techniques have really opened up my eyes to creating things that are more imaginative and more playful and more interesting, which, like I said, doesn't always mean cute, but I'd rather be creating something interesting and a little off center than something that I've done a billion times before. And that's purely something that was kind of my own discovery over time. Originally, I actually made those stamps for a trade show for Creativation because I had to demo with stamps, and I wasn't too keen on demoing with stuff that I'd already had for a long time, so I asked if I could make a new stamp set to demo with. And my manufacturer was really kind and was like, yeah, for sure, you can make a new stamp to demo with. So I did, and then I ended up having such a great time with it that people at the show were asking if they could buy it, and then people online were asking if they could buy it, and then suddenly I thought, well, yeah, I'll put it out then. Because I had no plans to really release that. It was just a demo stamp set. But then since then, we've kind of all gone on this discovery of kind of the benefits of that technique and that idea. It's kind of it's more of a tool. Anyway, why am I talking so much about this? I'll let you know more about it if you join the course. If you've already done the course before, obviously it's just a repeat, so you don't need to do it again. You'll have your replays in your course already. This is purely just for people that want to do the live lesson, because it's always more fun when you're doing it live. So that's on Saturday, the January 23rd at 2 p.m. Pacific. I'll let you Google the times in your relative time zones. I'll just let you know, we don't really ever change those times. 2 p.m. Pacific is kind of the most generic time that we can pick that caters to absolutely as many people as we can. There's obviously no time that caters to everybody. But we ran all the tests, we ran the diagnostics. Every time we looked at a different time, an alternative time zone, it completely counted one specific place out. So we would usually look at places around Europe. I think we had Germany. I think we used the time zone in Germany. We used the time zone in Sydney. We use the time zone obviously in New York, and then West Coast, which is us. Is the time zone in Germany and UK, like London, the same thing? I'm not quite sure. But in Europe, I think we sampled a few different time zones. And yes, unfortunately, there are some people that it will still be really late for, and some people that it'll still be really early for. Thankfully, in daylight savings time, standard time, Pacific Standard, or was it daylight savings? Either way, Australians got an extra hour. I think maybe it was daylight savings, so maybe that's gone. In any case, it would be really early for some people or really late for some people, but it wouldn't be like right in the middle of the night for anyone that wanted to do it. I mean, obviously, there's still going to be somewhere that's right in the middle of the night, but for the most part, we just tried to sample where most of our clients and customers and students were coming from, and those were the time zones that we came up with. That we really tried to make sure you could still attend, even if it was kind of like a 10 p.m. lesson. And it's weird too, because if you really think about, I'm so sidetracked. I love this because this is kind of like me trying to tell you about my business, but also the real part of me trying to tell you exactly why I made those decisions, which is fine. I like to talk about all of it, to be honest. But I find that if I ever really try to cater to everyone too much, it's just difficult because even people in certain time zones, like I could put it on a certain time that really caters to Australians, right? I could say, well, it's going to be at 6 p.m. and then suddenly everyone has something to do at 6 p.m. on a Saturday. And then they tell me that that time zone doesn't work either. And so really it's such a personal thing. I just give it my best shot. I'll be there. If anyone else is there, that's a bonus too. So yeah, I just wanted to let people know we really did try a million different ways to make it the most accessible or time appropriate. No, that's not the word. You know what I mean. We tried our best. So those are the times, always 2 p.m. typically, unless I change it. And then, we have Concepts 2, which is a completely different course. It teaches the same principle of stamping and illustration, but the techniques are different. The stamp set is different. The activities are a little bit different. Some overlap. You're still learning the same process, but it is a little bit more intermediate, I find. It's a little bit heavier on some of the illustration skills, but it doesn't mean you actually have to be good at anything. It's always broken down into super simple and approachable steps. So I don't want anyone to think that even though I say it's intermediate, that it is difficult. It's by no means difficult. It's just Concepts 1 is kind of really simplified. Maybe that makes sense. I don't know. In any case, I hope I see you there. If you never had a course with me before and you want to check out what they kind of look like, what live lessons look like, Merry Mix Media last year was dedicated to having the same format as a virtual voyage type of experience. So you can always go and join Merry Mix Media for free on my Teachable. If you go to the Teachable linked down in the description, and you can see exactly what it looks like inside there. You can get a feeling for the interface. You can get a feeling for what the course looks like, how to download things, how to watch things. I always like to keep those accessible for you, just so you don't feel like you're purchasing something and you have no idea what you're purchasing. I know it can be a little daunting to think of spending a lot of money on courses and then not know what's going to be in there. So even though it's not specifically about concept stamping or even virtual voyage, the Merry Mix Media one will give you a really good understanding of the platform and how I run courses. They're typically very personal, not personal, but like very personalized to the experience. I'm not super formal. I really love to enjoy the process. We love to have a good laugh, and we love to share a lot. There's a lot of community and peer sharing that goes on as well, and we have a very engaged and very encouraging community that really like to see you do well and will probably push you. Probably push you to really get out of your comfort zone and share, just so they can enjoy what you're sharing and encourage you even more. Tends to be what my experience is with our fantastic creative community. So I'll see you there if I see you there. If not there, if maybe you're waiting for something a bit more larger than life, a bit of a bigger experience than a one-day workshop, we do have Virtual Voyage number 3 starting in February 15th. We're starting that. If you haven't seen on my Instagram today, it's going up today. I'm revealing what the theme of the cruise is. So if you haven't seen it, I'll let you know. We are doing the Red Curtain Cruise, and we are going to 4 ports of inspiration this time. We're going to Freedom, Beauty, Truth, and Love. So we are actually visiting Baz Luhrmann's films. So first of all, it's his Red Curtain trilogy, kind of the most famous, and then we added Gatsby in there as well because we just have to. It's too fun to leave out. So we will have those 4 ports of inspiration, meaning that over the 2 weeks we'll visit all 4 of those movies, kind of dive into their themes a little bit. We'll do lots of art journaling, lots of lessons. We have live parties, printable activities, printable things for you to use and to get excited by. We've even got some new ways that we've kind of plussed it from last year. If you've been in the virtual voyages before, we like to add a few different things each time just to keep it fresh and exciting. And yeah, Steve has really gone all out for this one because it's Steve. And if anyone knows Steve, you know that he is obsessed with Baz Luhrmann films. So we will be looking at Strictly Ballroom, Moulin Rouge, The Great Gatsby, and Romeo and Juliet, all Baz Luhrmann's versions of those. And then obviously picking apart the themes in a much more inspirational way. We always like to say that for Virtual Voyage, it's themed for inspiration and it's open for imagination. So if you don't necessarily relate with one of those, I'll let you figure out if it is for you or not. I don't think I can really sell it to you if you don't like any of those themes. But a case in point, I always think back to the first one we did, and I put this on week 3. We had a port of inspiration called Avant Garden, which was kind of florals and fashion. It was Christian Dior, but in a garden. And I thought, well, I'll teach some fashion illustration type of lessons, and we'll kind of dive into that a bit and look at some of that inspiration, because I just really love it. But I almost put it in as a bit of a buffer because it was a 4-week online workshop. It was 4 weeks. It's just a lot. I felt like by week 3, people might have kind of dropped off a little bit. And because a lot of people typically, and this is the thing where you really just can't trust data at sometimes. A lot of the time when I post about fashion illustration or even kind of teach it or put up YouTube videos about it, it's typically some of my least, it performs the least, what am I trying to say? It's my least, I can't figure it out. Sorry, just don't speak English anymore. I don't speak any language, apparently. It's not as engaged with, at least engaging content, I guess you could say. If I looked at the analytics, the thing is, it's not like it stops me from doing it, because I still love it. But when I went to go and put it in a course, I did take a pause there and thought, well, this might really turn people off, because a lot of people typically don't seem to resonate with this. And then, so even a part of that was a way that I tried to approach teaching it, in making sure that people felt like fashion was for everyone, and that our approach to it was more focused on art journaling and imagination and pulling inspiration. But it was just kind of interesting how many people found themselves really swept up in that week and those lessons. And it really shocked me. I had no idea that people would even really care that much. I thought they would take the week off as a bit of a buffer so they could get prepared for the final week of the course. I don't know. If that's not a selling point, I probably couldn't think of one. But yeah, don't let it fool you. It's not like everything is going to be just us gushing over the movie. They're just themes. And a lot of the lessons are open enough for you to get out of it what you're trying to get out of it. I'd never get offended if I teach a lesson and people find something else to do with the lesson. It's all there for you to enjoy and do what you want with. But we do have these live parties as well, and we will have 2 of those live parties for a Virtual Voyage. Usually in the 2-week cruises, we only have 2 theme nights. It's a bit much to have 4. But we do have our Live on the Lido Deck parties as well. So what we've actually decided is that 2 of those Live on the Lido Deck parties will be themed to the 2 ports of inspiration, and then 2 of the theme nights will be themed to the other. So our theme nights this cruise are, I don't know if I should tell you just yet. I might tell you, because I don't know if I'm going to put the itinerary up on the same day. Maybe I won't put it up on Friday. In any case, it's the Masquerade Ball, the Capulets Masquerade Ball, and that's the first one. And then we're having the Gatsby Party is the last theme night. So the Live on the Lido Deck, kind of, they're not really theme nights, but Steve and I will probably be dressed up for those. Because, we like to do our portraits, and believe me, we have many a costume arriving. Our Live on the Lido Deck parties, Steve and I will be dressed up, and the lessons themselves will be themed. One will be Moulin Rouge, and one will be strictly ballroom. So, if you're into that, I hope you join us for it. It'll be on February 15th. You'll be able to find out more information when all of that course is open for registration. My goal for today was just to let everyone know the theme and when we would be doing all that. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited because Steve is just like head over heels so invested in everything. So I'm hoping I can offload a lot of work to him. kind of enjoy half the cruise as a passenger rather than the captain. If you don't know either, Virtual Voyage, it's an online workshop experience. I should have said this at the beginning. And the reason it's themed to cruising is just because I used to work on cruise ships, and so I have such an affinity for the cruise culture, and it seemed to work. When I put together the little outline, it just seemed like all the theming really matched up, and it would be kind of funny, but there was a lot of opportunity to expand on the experience and make it a really fun themed kind of content experience slash workshop where we got to just be together, explore so much of our creativity, and then also have a bit of a laugh, have a good time, connect with community. And it came at a really good time last year when I think we were really, really kind of desperate for more connection. We did our first one in the summer, so I think it was July? I know we finished the day before my birthday, so it must have been July. Yeah, and by that point, I think we had just spent so long kind of disconnected from each other that it was just really fun. The second one we did was Tim Burton themed, and it was 2 weeks long. That was over Halloween. Also, another fun experience. That one was packed, and I will admit that this one is pretty packed too. If you remember from Virtual Voyage 2, we only did one port of inspiration. It was Burtonville, so it was all kind of Tim Burton themed, and that happened in those 2 weeks. Well, you could imagine this is probably a little bit more packed because we're doing 4 ports of inspiration. So it's going to be like last cruise times 4. No, it'll be fine. It's all scheduled. I'm really excited for it. Obviously be telling you more about that as soon as we get into February. Also in February, I have plans for a restock of about almost everything that we've been selling through 2020. And also we have the new products coming. We have 3 new stamp sets. One of those is actually designed for Virtual Voyage to kind of... just because I wanted it, just be honest. When do I design things for not that reason, right? And then we have 3 new washi tapes as well. 2 of those are from the Burtonville journals from last year, and one of them is from one of my Wizarding Artists Society journals, Art Journaling the Magic. And yes, I have a lot of involvement. I don't know if I've mentioned this anywhere because I typically don't try to spread any of this information before Tangi does, just in case it changes, or just in case I'm telling something I shouldn't be telling, and I'm terrible at keeping secrets. But I do have a lot of involvement with Art Journaling the Magic this year. So if you can't catch me at any of my workshops, but you're catching me over at Art Journaling the Magic, I love to see you there as well. So don't feel pressure to choose one or the other because someone. You can only do one. I encourage you to go with whatever is the most likely to make you happy, and I will see you at either. Art Journaling the Magic is one of my favorite places to be on the other end of the experience, because a lot of the time it's really fun to put all the courses together, but sometimes I just want to be a student of one of the courses. So I do a lot of my studenting over at Art Journaling the Magic, and sometimes I guest teach, but I am slated to guest teach a lot this year with Art Journaling the Magic, so make sure you keep your eyes open over there just in case those courses suit you and your desires and your art journaling style and stuff better, because I just want you to have the most fun you can have this year with your creative journey, and wherever you are on that, it is literally my biggest desire for everybody. So I'll hopefully catch you there as well, or instead of. But I wanted to also mention the Etsy stock that we had in the shop. I know a lot of it's already gone, but we opened international shipping again. I know for a lot of 2020 we had it closed because of very obvious reasons. It just became a bit of a risk to keep those orders open and have them go missing and have to replace them. So we reopened it this month because we had limited stock, so we could kind of test if the packages were going to arrive in a timely manner or if they would arrive at all. So I will keep an eye on that, and if we don't have any problems like we did last year, I will keep the international shipping open for when we have our big restock and our new product launch. So that way you can hopefully get your hands on those things that you've been waiting about a year for now. I know it's been such a long time. I know some people even got friends to purchase it and send it forward. I applaud you and your commitment to getting those supplies. I always say you can live a great life without any of it, and I still stick by that. It's all just for fun and it's all extra. But yeah, we've heard you. We really felt bad that we had to keep it closed for so long. So, we're not trying to promise that this is it. We've changed our mind. We are still testing it. We're just trying to make sure that we're not going to run into the same issues. So we'll keep it open, and we'll let you know if that's something we can keep doing in February. Otherwise, we may have to close it again, pending if we have issues or not. So hopefully that answers some of people's questions about what's going on in the very near future. Like I said, if you want to know more about the schedule throughout the year of different courses that's coming up, go check out my website and you can see a big kind of breakdown of the year for me. Those only include my workshops. The Art Journaling the Magic ones are not on there. I purposefully, again, didn't put them on there just because if things change, I didn't want to pressure Tangi to have to update me every time those changes happen. So, I will try and let you know which workshops I'll be at before they happen. But most people, I think, that I've already talked to about Art Journaling the Magic are already joined in those things. So anyway, I do go Instagram live still from time to time throughout the week. I try to change up the times just so I can see different people and say hello to everybody. So yeah, please try and catch me on Instagram Live. I'm not making a schedule for that. As it is, I don't even know if I'm recommitting to my schedule of one video every Friday for YouTube this year. I think what I might do is what I ended up doing last year, and I'll keep committed to my Friday uploads, but I will take holidays off. And those holidays are pending now. Last year, the only holiday I took off was Christmas. And so I don't know if this year I'll try and take off more holidays, but I think I might just do what I did last year. I'm also just not committing to anything. I made that video last year. Does anyone remember the 2020 vision video? I cringe when I look at it because I know how much I had planned. I knew exactly what I was doing in the year. I thought I was so slick. I had everything planned out. Everything was timed and dated. And then March came around and it just all went out the window. So I'm absolutely too traumatized to commit to anything anymore. But for those of you who were wondering, if you want something to kind of loosely keep me accountable to, Friday videos all weeks except holiday weeks. So if borders reopen and I can go home without having to quarantine or, depending on what happens this year, if that happens and I end up going to Australia, like I would consider those holiday weeks. So we'll see. I'll let you know. The only other thing I guess I have to say is I hope you're having a great start to the year. Thank you for all your lovely comments everywhere I see them. I almost made a resolution to myself, even though I never do it, but it was the most stupid thing ever. It was to respond to all of the DMs and emails that have gone unanswered, which is so stupid. It shouldn't be a resolution. It's literally my job. But yeah, I've still been on that like behind the scenes mode. And I'm going to have to kick myself out of that because we're really in the swing of it now. But hope to see you around. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was pretty much all about announcements, but we got a lot going on and we're going to have fun. Okay. Bye, everyone.